It's just constant.
Yeah.
It's a neat way to see.
At the Country Music Hall of Fame, they also have a Tour 51, is what they call it. And it takes you to the recording studio where all the produced roughly 85% of the songs.
Really?
They were gonna demolish it and then
Oh my gosh.
this historic group took it over. And then they give you tours through there.
Wow.
It's
Yes.
interesting.
Neat. Yeah. All righty.
It's Studio B, that's what it is. Not 51, 50 minutes in that. Was scared. I never use maps. I get in the car to come here this morning and it has the map on there to the courthouse on my screen. I'm like,
Yeah, I
just
look
because I
at,
drive there every Monday, this time it pops on the screen.
I'm on my phone, I look up, supplyhouse.com, which is a plumbing supply house and for a toe kick heater. The next thing I know, I go and turn my TV on and I've got a supplyhouse.com advertisement on there. Because it's streaming off the internet. Yeah.
Oh. I get to use maps. Creeps me out. They picked you. Very good. I noticed they around here a lot.
This
But
company, yeah.
there, they go through town.
Solar panels. I wouldn't listen to somebody would start leaving.
Let you listen.
Thank you.
Morning, Jeff. That's it.
That's the new bond.
You want my old one?
I'll take the old one, the enhanced old one. Here you go.
Record the.
Closed session, although we may only need one instead of two. So I don't know if this is settled, meaning we don't need a closed session on that. I'll have to ask Andy, but thanks.
You want to send accept it. Just listen.
It's 9:30. All those that so choose, please stand. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order with everyone present. As a reminder, the meeting is being recorded. If you choose not to be recorded, you have the option of leaving. First item on the agenda this morning, Jeff Kuboushek, our recycling supervisor. Morning, everyone.
Morning, Jeff.
Morning, Jeff.
As you all know, we interviewed for a full-time position at the recycling center. I interviewed 4 people, did one last week and then 3 of them the Friday before. Very good applicants. Very happy with what we had to pick from. And I would like to make a recommendation for the hire of Derek Ditzenbach for the full-time recycling workers driver.
Jeff, how many, you're down on your head count.
If you're attending online, please mute your computer. Thank you.
That's our places that we're here.
How many, you're down on your head count, right now? How many people?
Right now, I think with the full-time and part-time, I think we're at 13, 14 roughly.
But that was from where we were before. We're a couple head. We're
Yes.
a couple short of where we were before.
And that includes picking up the rural waste pickup schedule.
Yeah. The only thing that, maybe going forward at some point, we do use a gentleman right now that for driving, which works out kind of decent for the summer when he can. But he works for the core school. So when that kicks back up and we're short, a driver. So if anything going forward, maybe we might look for
Part-time.
a driver just to kind of fill in, because if we have somebody on vacation, we kind of have to jockey people around would be the only thing. But this position will definitely help on the floor, just with the foot traffic that we have. It is busy. I mean, that's, like I said, when I started, you'd be surprised how many people come through there, and they're right. I mean, there's a lot. And foot traffic. I mean, we get appliances every day, or hazardous material or paper, want to drop off for shredding. But it is very busy. So
I would move to approve the full-time position for Ditzenbach. I forgot the person. Derek Ditzenbach.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second for the hire of Derek Ditzenbach at recycling. Is there any further discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous.
Since we have a couple of minutes, Jeff, you want to kind of fill in the people what we've been able to accomplish since your new intro into recycling?
I guess the one thing we've been basically searching for a few different vendors, prices, trying to obviously get the most you can for products. The biggest thing, TVs, we went to a different vendor and that was costing, well, probably over the year, close to $10,000 for disposal. Now we were set up and basically we did rid of them for nothing. So that's kind of a big plus. We had a trailer there before, then we were paying for trailer rent every month just for that to sit there. And then when we would have a load, they would come and get it, bring another trailer. But then they would charge us for how many TVs and monitors. And now we're just sending them to a different vendor, which is awesome. So that's kind of been a big plus. Some of our plastics, we went to a different, the one that was buying them, we went without putting a backer on there. And at one point, the load, they wouldn't give us anything. Where now, I think the last load we got like $4,000 for it. So it's a little harder to tie them. It takes a little bit more, but for that dollar amount, it's definitely worth taking a little bit of time. We always put a plastic backer on the bottom and top to kind of hold it in there, so when you run the wires through there, sometimes they don't want to cooperate, I'll say, but, like I said, for the money wise, and, it makes sense, and we're constantly looking for ideas, markets, doing a bunch of cleaning. That's been kind of continuous. It just upkeep has been, a lot of old stuff kind of sitting around, so we just kind of wanted to freshen it up. And so, but it's been good. Everybody's been very good. We got a good team. I mean, that makes, everybody's willing to help, so that makes a big.
I know that when Mark and I went down last year, there was a lot of deferred maintenance issues and so forth. How have you come on dealing with those so far?
And we're, the one baler, we replaced the belt on there was bad. The cylinder, we replaced that also. There is another belt, I think, in the future that we're probably gonna have to look at that. But other than that, we're just making sure everything, forklifts. It's another one, we kind of talked about that the other day. We got an old gas one there that I think we would definitely like to get rid of that, because everything else is electric that we have, and we don't, it basically sits in the corner. So we'd like to get rid of that one and one of our older electric ones. And then I'm checking on prices here this week just to see what the difference was from that last one that we purchased. I think that was last year, I believe. So I'm gonna call them and see what and I think that was around 40, I think it was like 45,000, I think, roughly. So, but I need to make a call to them and see what they're at for prices. But, so,
The question I get most often from the community is number 5 of yogurt containers. Is there any new markets for that?
not right now.
I take mine up to Minneapolis, so I wish we could
Yeah.
get them down here somehow.
It's, most people are very good with recycling, and you always have some dumpsters that we bring back. Not so good. Because some days we have quite a few dumpsters of, the biggest one probably we see is styrofoam. Basically, to see a TV box, you might as well grab the TV box and look at it, look at the inside, because 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a big chunk of styrofoam in there. That's probably our biggest one that we don't take. Plastic bags is another one. And the biggest thing is just like, not just in 48, but I mean, people just need to read the bin, maybe do a little better job of looking at what's supposed to be in there, you know, and if it is full, try and go to the next bin. Or, I mean, usually on holidays is kind of where we get bombarded, where everything is really full, you know, and if nothing else, try and wait a day. I know people are kind of scheduled where they want to take their recycling to the dumpster, but if it is full, just don't throw it on the ground, because then it makes more work for everyone else, and it doesn't look very good either. So
they can still go to winneshiekwaste.org
Yep.
and find out exactly what can and cannot be taken to our recycling center.
Have we seen an improvement in people breaking down the cardboard boxes so they don't take as much space out of our bins?
I would say it's about the same. You know, there's some that are very good, and obviously if more would do it, we could get more in there. We have at our drop in Freeport, I mean, some people, unfortunately, if it doesn't fit in the bin, they just throw it on the ground. Well, then the next person comes and sees it on the ground, and well, that's okay, so then they throw it on the ground. And so that's the unfortunate part, is it's kind of a monkey see, monkey do. But yeah, and there's different sizes of bins out there. I mean, as far as openings, and yeah, please just take the time and smash it. If you don't have a knife, or just step on it and smash it. And sometimes if we see a lot of people during the day that have a bunch of cardboard, we'll go out to them, tell them to back right into the shed, and we'll take it right off their vehicle instead of bringing it all into the bin, which is helpful to us and them. It's just try and do a little bit every time to help everybody out. So,
Congrats to you and your team.
yeah, it's going good. Like I said, it's busy, so.
It's definitely a different look when you walk in there now than last year. So it's really
And we got more things to do, more cleaning, that's pretty much,
Can't be done overnight.
no, it's small steps, it's just when you try and find time, and this will help with a new hire there too, to free up a little time so we can do some of these other things that we've kind of been kicking the can down the road and just haven't had time to do it. It's just, and obviously summertime, people are on vacation, so we are really shorthanded, but we make whatever we can work, so.
yeah, I think the electric forklift would be a good addition in the wintertime when it's closed and the
Yeah.
fumes are a bad scenario there.
Yeah, the solar project was big. I mean, as far as what our electric bills are now compared to what they were, I mean, the last one was, I think, maybe $60. And they were over $1,000.
Up to 1,600 for a while.
So, I mean, that was major benefit, so that was,
The other thing I think has been good is incorporating rural waste into recycling hauling.
Yeah.
It kind of kills two birds. with
yeah.
one stone.
And that way it's all kind of with us, not as much with TJ, and I mean, everybody's pretty much used to it now. And really, it works out pretty good, to be honest, time-wise for us, because by the afternoon, we like to have everything bailed and kind of completed by the afternoon, so then that guy just takes off to get there by 2 to bring it. So it's been working out good. So,
I think the changes that have been made, we won't see as much savings this year as we had perhaps hoped to, but the following year, it'll be significant because we had a lot of catch up to do in this whole scenario. And you brought a lot to the table. It's been very helpful, Jeff.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Next item on the agenda, Michael Kueny, our county engineer. Closure requests for Ossian and Fort.
Good morning. How's it going?
Let's start with that.
Thank you. Good vacation. Yeah, them and my previous document was two-sided. I didn't get the thing, so I write it down on one page. Okay. Feel a little bit rusty here. Since
We're just glad you came back.
I love the beach and everything, but good to be back.
Vacations can take a toll on you.
So Winneshiek County is a finalist for the bill grant. I sent the board the updates on that, where we didn't get that main round that they're gonna vouch for, but I guess they're gonna have some other projects that has discretionary funding happening. We might get into that, how I read those tea leaves, but so we're gonna hold out on that. Railroad flat car, it's nothing really new this week. Subdivision data, haven't done anything since I got back. Project cut in Quarry Hill, I left just after or just before break, my vacation, and the city's interested in seeing how Burns wants to screen the quarry and the operations, so I'll have to work with them on that. As long as we're on that, whose property are we heading into, or is it? It's all Brunings. Oh, so, yeah, we're just trying to straighten that road. And,
Property where, that was a question.
yeah, cause it's zigzagging with dust and everything else. It's really, the safety data on that is not a good look.
It's Brunings that are giving up property, and then when you move the road in, then actually the city's gonna get property, because they have the park on the other
Yeah.
side, so.
So, yeah.
That's why they're involved, even though it's a county road, is they're getting.
Yeah, the whole idea behind it is to get them to take that park and that way they can use it for parking and everything else up there, so. should be a win-win.
Is the city cooperating? I had a conversation with Keith Bruning down at the fair, and he was not really pleased about how they were getting back with answers and so forth.
They're just doing their due process. So, I mean, I think that's, the last email I have was, from Mark Holte, and that the question was how is Bruning's gonna keep it screened? I don't know about the city and Bruning's interaction. They probably don't have a whole lot of interactions themselves, too much, because it's city, or it's Bruning's and county, and then county, then with the city. It's kind of how that negotiation is gonna work. So it's gonna be,
You're in the middle.
yeah, because we gotta get the right of way set up, and then it's just, that's how it's working. So I'll be probably talking to Mark Holte sometime this week about, you know, what it is they want to see, and then have a conversation with Keith. So. Yeah. Nessie Valley construction is ongoing. We are rocking Nessie Road this morning. That's really a big spot in the project. Evidently there's 20 trucks hauling rock to that, so it should be done here shortly. It's
It'll be on the agenda in, I remember, 2 or 3 weeks after the next conservation board meeting
To adopt the road.
to, accept the road into the system. Yeah. But we have to go through the next conservation meeting first.
There'll be a 20 culvert installation north of A18 that is still under construction. 5 of the 6 culverts have been installed. Road was opened this past weekend, and the last culvert should be constructed this week. After that, we're looking at Bridge 67, Bridge 393, and then 200th Avenue culvert repair, and A14 culverts are likely to follow all of that. So the DOT bridge engineers visited on July 14th. The meeting went well. The county is in compliance, and the bridge inspector will update SIMS in coordination with the DOT for direction of that meeting. Mostly it's just almost every bullet point was a software database issue that just needed to be coordinated between bridge inspector and the DOT. FEMA Cat A is still being held up on the FEMA side. It is category A. We've had some movement. I don't know if it was 3 weeks ago, but it's been recent. So I think we should be looking to get our check in the mail here shortly. And then they requested us fill out a category Z form, so we'll be working on that this week. The dirt patcher, I think, is still on W20. They're pretty close to being finished. And then Bluffton Road will see some time, and then A18. River City was a little better on B32 project. These patches provide paved shoulder and paved driveway entrances on the 20th Avenue to 227th Avenue. Haven't heard any word on when they're coming yet. So,
I mean, you have one questions on that.
yeah, well, that should be a lot nicer. I don't know. I don't know if it solves everything, but at least it would address any problem. So,
Because we had some issues, not this weekend, but the weekend before, where they had to go out on Saturday with a payload of rock and fill in a couple.
so sooner we can
Everybody's getting a little antsy.
Yep, and as am I. Bridge 307 is shaping up to be let in December of 2026. That changed from November. The DOT need for clearance has been completed, and now right of way needs to be acquired. Bridge 208E will be construction shortly. Brennan's has been backed up by the rainy weather. That's the same story we have with Nesty. The county excavation will be monitored by Bear Creek. The county excavation that was monitored by Bear Creek Army Corps of Engineers was done on July 1st, and no remains were found in the southeast abutment area. Care will still be done when excavating around the bridge. Bridge 126 NEPA clearance have been completed last week and will likely be let in December. Right of way on that also needs to be acquired. Frankville Road, letting will follow Bridge 126. And same note as the last time, we reduced the cost from 3.5 million to 2.9 million.
Took out the paved shoulders.
Paved shoulders have been removed, and that work to bring grade up is not going to be done, therefore. Second round of dust control is being coordinated. That has been a lot of the work that was done last week and the week before. Sign grant for Winneshiek County signs are being put up. This is the sign grant that was awarded last year. Approximately 40 out of the 86 signs have been put up already.
These are the ones that named the
The creeks
and the water crossing.
and the headwaters. Yep.
Yep.
So we have until August 31st to get those signs up, and we are on track.
So basically, many of our signs are required and we've already had them in place, but since these are not required, they're informational, that's why we got to, it's only because we got a grant to do it.
Yeah, I would not have paid for these signs to be put up without getting the grant. So, but as it is, this should be a benefit for people who like to use those streams.
One the other day.
Yep.
Are they replacing the current ones that were there?
Well, some of them never had signs.
These are all new. These are all new locations. The two new trucks from Don's should arrive to Winneshiek County in the first week of August. We'll be happy to get those. We'll be selling a couple of trucks afterwards, after receiving them. And then I have to get the annual report done this week. I'm looking to get it done this week. So
Have you sold those Oshkoshes yet?
they've not done. The auction is not done for them. So
I interrupted you, I think you missed the
4-year.
traffic count there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's
I don't,
people see the little bands across the streets, and that's just a DOT. Every 4 years we get new traffic counts. So yeah.
How long does it take to get about the first year before you get them back? Or
This is my first time.
a year?
So
Okay.
I think it's
Probably
over a year last time, wasn't it?
I've seen them like on 16.
Yeah, they're.
and they do every 4 years because they divide the state into quadrants and just rotate around. Yep.
They have on city streets and.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere. Jesus, I would. It's a lot of work.
With that, that's my report.
We have these two road closure requests, one from the Ossian, city of Ossian community for Lydia Street. From the railroad track, Highway 52, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on August 9th. Then the other one is from Fort Atkinson community for 146th Street. That has to do with the rendezvous days.
Is your
It's
spot?
Friday, September 26th until Sunday, September 28th.
I'd move to approve the road closures for Ossian and Fort.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for the road closure request for Ossian and Fort. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously.
One thing that just came up this morning, the DOT is looking to, not the DOT, the railroad is looking to close Middle Calmer Road Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to remove the,
Crossing.
that crossing, to do some work on that crossing. It's not gonna be paved or anything right away. But they're gonna pull out the stuff that's protruding in the air and make that a better crossing for the public. So,
Amen.
Any complaints on that one?
yeah, a railroad asked for us to pay for it. I said no. So I said I'd get the signs up for them. And, yeah.
We've had the same problems in Ossian.
so,
2 months ago, they said they were gonna have four of them done in a month. So we're still complaining.
yeah.
Maybe.
The,
They're difficult to deal with.
yes, and they were, this sounds like they're gonna do this, it's tomorrow, so. Just wanted to put that little note in. So,
Sounds good. Anyone have anything else for Mike? Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Consent agenda?
Got the minutes, a liquor license for Traveling Tapsters LLC. Is actually, they're using Seed Savers for a special event. So Seed Savers is transferring their liquor license for a 5-day. And then County Sheriff's quarterly report.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Anyone have any committee reports, please?
I did have an update from Hawk and that Alicia, the director here in Decorah, was resigning and moving. But then found out from judicial that they are not going to be replacing her. So she's going to stay through the first of the year working remotely on that. And then the judicial meeting, we had lots of budget shortfalls looming. So their state is only within reorganization basically for what we're doing right now. They're doing right now with that. It's going to appropriate funds to cover about half of what that is. So they're going to have to make some decisions about that in the future. And basically a lot of it is in coordination with what CSS was doing also. And some of their funding was coming from them, and that's dissolved now. And I'll have a meeting next week on CSS, even though they're dissolved, about financial approvals of submission of claims that are ongoing until first of the year. And then I did submit to Ben and Andy a dissolution of the 2080 agreement with the counties on the CSS. So that's where we're at. Changes every week. You get an update on a different direction, but it's not positive news.
Yeah.
A reminder that we have an open house next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the 30th at the Children's Center downtown on Water Street, 5:30 to 7. Iowa Behavioral Health, Chrysalis Children's Center.
The Workforce Development Board met on Thursday for the CEOs for this district up here. That's, they'd hope to get onto an agenda item to be voted on at the state level in August. That's not going to happen, maybe October, and then maybe an implementation by next year. And there's, looks like 2 of the 4 districts have already pretty much come to agreement of coming together. Now they're still working on one, if not both of the other 2 to join into a combined region for economics and for, that does not affect the work, the current centers. So our service delivery here and all should remain the same, but it will help with the administrative costs and things of that nature. So it was a positive meeting and more to be continued. Just like Mark and what he deals with there.
Policy board meeting Thursday at 11. It's Thursday. Yep.
All right, it's 10 o'clock. Couple miscellaneous items up next. We have to set a public hearing, for ENA cleaning zoning amendment.
We've got that penciled in for August 11th at 10 a.m. I don't know any details about it. That would be a Tony Phelps question, but I'll get you the paperwork on it when we get to the public hearing.
The building has to be zoned commercial in order for an addition to be put on it. P and Z passed it. So, anyone like to take action?
Move to set public hearing for August 10 a.m. for the ANA cleaning zoning amendment.
Second.
Motion and a second to set the public hearing.
That's a resolution.
It's only been met for August 11th at 10 a.m. Those in favor, say aye. Resolution.
Yay.
Barry.
Aye.
Aye.
Steve.
Aye.
I also passes unanimously. And next, discuss act on option for setting a public hearing on sale of property at the old DHS building.
Mark,
I guess I asked to put that on because been that way and head in and they kind of want more than what's on it. And I said I was gonna push for a public hearing because we no other interest. And it's been what, 3-4 weeks since we were supposed to put it out there. And it's gonna be another 2 or 3, you know, if we set a public hearing, it'll still be another. So I mean, if we keep dragging this on, we lose the only bid we got so far.
There's a
It's
number
pretty scary.
of things. When I had a conversation, I was asked by our county engineer, his office would volunteer to go ahead, at least the property's not listed on any of the public web spaces such as Zillow or Realtor.com. And they would be happy to go ahead and get that put on there so we get a public, I was surprised. I thought that had been done by economic development.
Yeah.
It has not been. We have Andy, it's not been gone up on an open listing yet. Andy has even given us the document as a draft for our approval. We haven't approved that yet, so it's not listed up on the other. So we have not done very well, in my opinion, on our marketing of this property. So I think I'd like to see the board agree to the engineering department that volunteered to let them go ahead and put the listing up there with the photographs and the rest of that, so we get some exposure in the public, which we're not getting these days.
That's what development tourism was supposed to be doing. Some of
Not
that
been.
stuff. That's what was gonna be done and they did nothing.
Well,
I
did
mean, we
any of
keep
it-
kicking this can down the road. We're gonna lose what we got. We're gonna be sitting there with a piece of property nobody wants.
Who was in communication with development and tourism?
Both Mark and I did.
Or did you guys follow
Well,
up with them?
Andy said
And
that
Andy's,
for instead to approve, she
Yep.
made a couple of suggestions and then
So is it waiting on us to approve
Yeah,
those?
it is.
Okay, then let's get that done and then move forward from there.
but I still think we ought to approve
Sure.
authorize the engineering office, who gladly do that as a service, to proceed with that. So at least it's up there in the public sphere, because it's not otherwise.
In the meantime, is Stephanie waiting on us for something that Andy approved to act on?
That's that listing agreement, that
Okay,
Andy,
so-
the open listing agreement, which,
Where is it?
I know that's Andy just got back to us.
We'll ask Andy when it comes in.
Yes.
I see nothing
Going on
wrong.
since
We're gonna have
May
Andy when he gets here.
It's ridiculous. We have a bid out there.
I-
And I'm. Yeah.
Sort of agree with Mark. Maybe we could set a public hearing.
Set a
date
public hearing
3
date.
weeks out, and that would
And-
give us still time for
Time
everything
to-
else to transpire.
I mean, every realtor and banker in town knows it's for sale. Something should,
town.
if nothing else has popped
Point
up.
there,
That's a good point, in town.
in town.
But we hired the out of town realtor to do the appraisal, which we wasted our money. Cause what I was told, you can only use the appraisal of a certain radius of business or same like within the Decorah. So we wasted our money on our appraisal. I can tell you that right
That
now.
was a statewide recognized appraiser who.
Yeah, but
that's his business.
they only appraise, you can only appraise it within a certain.
He
radius
used
of
comps
Decorah.
within a certain radius.
And they're all within Decorah. So we could just well have a local realtor do that. Yeah. We just
I
say
think we should
probably
proceed with what we
$1,600.
discussed before and hold up our end of what we all agreed to before and get this from Andy and then have the engineers department help us get it out there have the multiple listing agreement agreed to by us and move forward with that. Because
I think
if it's only in town so far, it's not doing our due diligence on
we
it.
have, we have a document from Andy, which I believe from review, we can approve. We have an offer from the engineering department to get it posted. I think we're all in agreement on that. Can we authorize the engineer to go forward? And I think those two steps are important, that we go ahead and take action on those two.
So
And I bet Stephanie was waiting for that approval before she could
Yes.
take action on this, just to
I
be
think
clear here.
I
So
believe
should
that's a
we-
fair assessment.
Yeah.
Should we have the engineer do it if she's planning to do it
well,
after we approve this agreement, or does that?
I think they can work in
You
coordination.
don't want to
with
double
her.
up on it here.
Well, she's not, I've not seen anything from Stephanie about posting it in that way. She talked about posting it on state websites and different things like that. I never heard a comment made in my conversation with her about those other public sites.
I think it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to double up.
I think you have
Not at
to
all.
work in coordination with staff and figure out how to best.
And I think we should, the engineer, I don't think is, if it needs to be changed, it can be changed, but I think we need to get it up there. We've been lingering with this, been a long time since I took the initiative to get the sign posted, get it up there, but nothing else has happened.
I would motion to authorize the engineer to work with economic development, based on Andy's approval. To list the building more broadly.
But we're not putting a listing price on it.
Not listing the bill, we're just putting it
We're
out.
putting it up there as being visible as for sale,
Okay,
with proposals accepted.
which will make it potentially an open listing.
Yeah. We've got a meeting, let's see, can we discuss that with Andy at the same time? When Andy comes?
Yeah.
This
All
year,
right, or Andy's
3
here.
minutes.
Where's it?
When your action is to authorize the county engineer to work with Winneshiek County Development and Tourism and the county attorney to get it listed on more websites or.
Public websites. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Everything Ben just said. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
But I would still like to make a motion to set the public hearing out for 3 weeks. This gets up there, I mean, that'd be my motion, because we've been, it's been going since May 1st.
1 month.
I think a month would be better suited.
I think we can wait and discuss that next week.
No, I would just soon get it out so people know we gotta get something set. We gotta step our foot in here and just get it over with. Everybody's been dragging their feet, nothing gets done. So if we put a date out there, here's the date. We're having a public hearing. Yeah.
So what date do you want to have in the motion? August 18th, 25th, 11th?
I would say August 18th, that still gives us plenty of time. Almost a month, that's a month. Basically,
It is almost. I mean, we're at the
Yeah.
21st today.
that's a month, so. My recommendation.
We could have a public hearing and not accept any of it, so.
Yeah, next door, we public hearing, yeah, we don't have to accept nothing, we just have a public hearing.
But without public hearing, we have no option, so.
Yeah.
Another option we could do is we could split that into 2 parcels. I went over this with engineer's office, and if we took the building footprint itself and took adequate parking out of the back portion of it, about 70 feet to allow for parking on that space, it would leave about 2.7 acres of commercial left in the balance of the parcel, and separate that as two different offerings or one offering together. And we could actually offer it as, it would be about 1.3 plus on the building and 2.7 plus minus on the remainder of the parcel, but they're both commercial, and that separates it. Somebody may have an interest in the land only and use it for another purpose. An example of how to do this would be like this. That was Shimmick, Mike and Mike. There's a drawings. Cut a line that's back there to allow for parking for the lower daylighting of the main, of the building on the property would leave the balance of this land out here as another separate parcel, as another option of what we could do.
Then you're gonna have easement. It's gonna get
Well, and my concern was that the septic field is back.
back onto that, yeah, you're gonna have easement.
Those are,
It's gonna be huge.
Parcel.
those are something that's workable and not necessarily a deal killer.
Well, we have a motion on the table. Is there a second? It's not. Motion fails for lack of a second. All right, 10-10, Andy Vandermountain, County Attorney. Morning, Andy.
They were just talking about the property sale that you got at the end of, and they're wondering what the status was on the open listing agreement with and Stephanie's work on that.
I think Stephanie was going to send it out to the realtors and accept signatures. Steve and Mark didn't have any additional comments on it.
But there was nothing that the board needed to act on to approve it, okay?
I don't
So,
think so.
so maybe somebody should double check with Stephanie with that.
Mark, you available afterwards, we'll check with her.
And the board did authorize to have the county engineer staff work with Stephanie and you and to list it on like
Yeah.
Zillow or the other
Websites.
websites if Stephanie wanted assistance getting the word out there. We didn't want to step on any toes if Stephanie's already doing it, so they should work with you guys before they.
If you're checking with her on the open listing, see if she's put it up on any of those sites as well, I guess.
What else do you have for us, Andy?
A couple things on the agenda coming up, but
Okay,
Will we still need to do that
second.
state of I-1 in a closed session or not?
I don't think so. At the time I brought that up, I wasn't sure, one, whether going to get it resolved, and two, the timing of the resolution. So I think we can do that in open session.
So
It's,
you want to flip flop the agenda times so that if people leave for the closed session, they don't have to like leave in the parking lot to come back and.
that's up to you. That's fine.
Yeah, I guess we could just go ahead and do that.
But the thing is, you probably can't do that. Well, but people are going to be online at 10:25 for that issue.
That's true.
Or after. Maybe we should just keep it in order.
Yeah, you can put something later that you shouldn't like put something earlier.
We'll have a closed session and then we'll go back into open session after the first closed session.
Yes.
So you guys can come back for that last piece, which will not be in closed session now. Correct? Did I say that?
And that one shouldn't take very long. I put it for 10 minutes. It might not even take that much, depending on.
I would think that.
10 minutes cover the administration time of getting the doors locked and posting the signs and getting the recording going on too. But
So how this will look is we'll post closed session signs on the doors and lock the doors, and it will only be the Board of Supervisors in here for that 10:15 closed session that's listed here for discussing personal injury case. And then we'll open the doors again and go back into open session after we're done with that piece, which will take about 10 minutes. And go into closed session.
Look for a sign on the door saying open session.
Well,
Well,
you'll
when
see
the
us
signs-
unlock the door,
Yeah, when the signs-
and we'll take the sign down. Thank you.
Before we go into closed session, if we backtrack for just a moment on committee reports, let me give you a quick update on the courtroom. The ceiling tile work is done. Half of the lighting is in. We're still waiting for lighting on the front half right there. We're proceeding with carpet for the judges' chambers and her library, and that's already in process. We've already paid for material in last year's budget. We couldn't get the material in time to do both, so that'll be happening shortly. We've got a proposal that's in with the budget for Fashion Four to continue and go ahead and replace are you ready for this, Andy? The carpet in the main courtroom.
Whoa, I never looked at that. It's replacing?
So yes, so that's gonna be proceeding. And that will really make almost all the floors except for the magistrate's courtroom, a couple of small offices that may still be needing some attention there, but we pretty much will have taken care of all the floors.
We're still in meeting.
All the floors will be there. So that's kind of a late update on that. I think the last storm in the south wind, I see a water stain on the ceiling tile in the corner.
Already?
Mark,
Gonna do some more calling around?
it's already been done.
We have a motion to go into closed session. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to go into
Second.
closed session authorized under Iowa Code 21.51C. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is this one, this
I will
person
stop.
something in Dan's department?
Hello?
Yes, Fatima, we need to pause the recording and we'll probably in about 10 minutes, we'll give you a call and let you know we can start it again.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
I need a couple minutes here. I gotta just get the recording going and lock this.
Take action.
I move to approve the settlement.
Motion and a second to approve personal injury claim of $48,000. All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Back on to discuss the litigation.
I had, I think most everyone is aware by this time, the lawsuit against Winneshiek County against Dan Marx filed by the UPD's office has been dismissed. Dan and I were in Des Moines on Friday. We met with the Attorney General and members of her staff. We spent some time discussing the matter, and at the close of the meeting, she was in agreement that the case would be dismissed, and by late afternoon Friday, it was dismissed, and I would assure you that in the course of the conversation, as I say, there was no request for Dan to apologize or recant his position, and none was offered. Essentially, we confirm that we have had a policy in place since 2018, that policy has been followed, and that we will continue to follow the policy as we always have. And that seemed to be satisfactory. So satisfactory to the point that she agreed to dismiss.
So everything pretty much resembles the initial response that we were going to give.
Yeah, we
That was
actually. Yeah, that we actually gave.
But the AG's office rejected.
So that is what we have to report.
How does that affect the suit of the county? Is that their job?
It's all dismissed.
With prejudice, which means they cannot retry it.
They can't refile it based on that set of facts.
Nice.
Nice to have that done too.
Yes.
Will we? Looking at the end of it that I worry about the billings and when will we see billings from the attorneys and are you still getting donations that you can use to pay for some of that and that kind of thing? I just want to
I'll
know.
answer that first, then kick it back to Andy.
Okay.
Yes, there is more money coming in yet. I would assume it'll probably start to taper off now that it's, but we were getting donations pretty steadily. There's also another larger donation from Letterworks. I don't know what the amount is, but through the fundraising stuff that they did, that I need to go get that.
Yeah,
back at some
so
point.
let me know when you think you kind of have the last payments, because I don't want to pay the last bills and then end up with a donation after that. So,
And I am sitting on some checks right now, that's just as simple as Diana's gone right now, and so I was gonna have her just
Yeah.
handle them when she got back, so.
I think that the county and for Dan have both been submitting bills monthly.
Yeah.
So I would look for something in August with their final bill.
okay, sounds good.
And what legal way did we say we can accept those donations and pay for that?
Because the donations were not going to exceed the amount of billing, we were simply taking them, depositing to the general fund and paying out.
Awesome.
And I don't know what that total has been or what it will be, but
We don't know if that's close.
yeah,
I'm sure, I mean, our first few billings, we had quite a bit of expense before the donations started coming in, so I'm sure in the end we'll not have an excess donations, but
I would like to see the total donations and the total billing at some point. It'd be nice for information to have that.
and Ben should,
yeah,
but yeah,
we
you should
should
have
kind of wrap it all up maybe in a month or so, a month and a half.
and I think we have been keeping that ledger in the sheriff's office as well, so.
Any other questions?
Since they dismissed all this, we aren't going to be discriminated against now. Next time we go apply. I mean, that's all.
No, we should not be. Because
Yeah.
Should not.
I don't see a reason that they would.
What discriminate against when?
Well, when we apply for state aid and stuff, I mean, if we're in, there's 10 of us in the list to get it. Are we the last one on the, or last one to be recognized every time?
I don't think this has that trickle down effect. There's other agencies that are providing it.
I didn't know, I mean, just, you know, they're frankly take all our funding away, so. Do they have?
But with the dismissal, that thread is gone, and I think that by dismissing it, it's pretty clear that this was not going to go far enough to reach that point. So,
If the public wants to become more familiar with chapter 27 and the implications of what they're trying to do, and may even try to do again in the next session, they may want to get involved at the state level of trying to influence that, because some of the things that are being even considered, when I had a conversation with our state senator about this, he said there's some stuff that same political leader is trying to put back in that are not in the benefit of our law enforcement team of
Or the benefit of our
decertification.
community.
And that's not a good thing for our community. We're very fortunate to have very good enforcement in our county, and we need to maintain it. So if anybody out in the community wants to take it, become politically active, this is a good thing to get behind, because it can affect us in ways we never anticipated.
Certain to come up again.
It will. I don't believe he's done.
all right, thank you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm gonna be putting out just a statement, thanking everyone. And including county attorney, board of supervisors, and I'll say it now. So, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for standing up.
You, Dana, for standing up.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for adjournment. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
I'll be here for office hours again today.
You don't even have to change that. I might minutes.
Together.
You don't need that Monday morning.
I will be going to the
Good to see ya.
And you.
Awesome.
Piece of information, but good to see you.
Yeah. Fine.
I'll wait and decide, but, do you want to meet with one or two of us?
I'm just curious about hearing this.
That's just that was on the.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Mark Fulton, and I would like to be pretty sure we got that.
Yeah, talk to Mark about this.
Yeah. You guys can go out, or we can all leave and you can be in here.
I just left her a text message and a voice message. Yeah. Ask for a call back and we'll see. I'll let you know.
All right, now I'll let you communicate with the engineer involved.
Yeah, I'll just walk over there right now.
Great.
Thanks for quick meeting.
Yeah. What do you thought, the mother's only two left?
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.